guys, I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to my channel, Chemistry's Consciousness channel. I am going to share with you guys about, I hope y'all are doing well. Um, I'm gonna slow down for a minute because I just ran in here like a lightning out of nowhere. So I hope y'all are doing well. It's been a wonderful day, and um, I'm late, so I apologize for that. I had some things going on, but let me just go ahead and jump into it. This live is because after we go through everything that we've gone through with the karmics, and if you don't know who the karmics are, check out the last video. Basically, the karmics are folks that come into our lives to teach us soul lessons, very deep soul lessons. And they are difficult lessons to learn because these are lessons that we did not learn in the last lifetime that followed us to this lifetime. And if we don't get the lesson this lifetime, it'll follow us into the next lifetime. So it's so important to really pay attention to what's going on around you, right? Because we want to get these lessons. These are very, very deep soul lessons that will allow us to move forward, right? So, after you close the cycles with the karmics, closing cycles with karmics is not an easy thing to do. Like I said, go ahead and watch the last video about karmics, and hopefully, it'll give you some tips on how to close out those cycles. Once you close the cycles out with karmics, it's like a graduation. You move into a new way of being and a new way of presenting yourself to the world because you have learned a very, very deep soul lesson, right? And that soul lesson will allow you to evolve to higher frequencies. And that's always the goal, is constantly to keep yourself in a higher frequency, by any means necessary, meaning that you don't stay in karmic relationships. You let those relationships go. You let those cycles close out. You clean your space. You clean your auric field. And you do everything that you can do to keep high frequency. You mind your thoughts. You mind your life. This is about the evolution of the soul. So, as you evolve and as you learn these soul lessons, um, you release these soul lessons. Once you learn the soul lesson, you release it and your frequency goes higher. Now, once you do that, you move into a different frequency of life, and now you have to start creating the new life that you want, or even better, you created before. So now that you've released the old karmic energy, now it's time to create the new life that you've always really wanted, right? And that is, we're going to have two steps in playtime, okay? So the first step in playtime is deciding what you want to follow, deciding what you want, right? What exactly do you want? Is it a career that you've always wanted to follow? Is it a book that you've always wanted to write? Is there a project that you've wanted to create? Is there a business you've wanted to create? Is there a coaching um, group that you've wanted to create? Now, this is where you decide, what is it you really want? What makes your heart sing? Take some time to think about that. What exactly makes your heart sing? Once you decide what makes your heart sing, you want to follow your heart in making those decisions. Now, this is where, book sense is not necessarily going to come in until you weigh how you feel in your heart about what this is you've decided to do. So if you say you've decided to do X, whatever X may be, now you allow your heart to take control and let you begin to make decisions based on how you can fully support that decision. Because now you're about to start creating your life around what you want in your heart. and you follow your heart. Then you write the vision down and you make it plain, right? So the first step is deciding what you want. Once you decide what you want, you're going to follow your heart in making decisions about what it is you're going to do. So if you decide that you're going to write a book, you got to make the decisions. Okay, how many times am I going to write in the book a week? Am I going to write once a week? Am I going to write in the book 5 days a week? Or am I going to write in the book 3 days a week? And you follow your heart and see what is it I can really do and stick to it. If it's 1 day a week to start out, stick to that and write in your book 1 day a week. And then you're going to write it down that, I'm going to write this book. I commit to writing in it once a week, or I commit to writing in it 3 times a week, whatever it is. And you make it plain. And every day before you go to bed, you look at your note. I'm writing a book about X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to write in it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Write down what your commitment is. And that's the first step to creating a new cycle that you love, right? Now, the second step is you're going to start visualizing the dream that you have. What does it look like at the end? If you decide that you want to write a book, what does it look like when you're at your book signing? Who's there with you? Who do you want to be there? Where are you? Are you at Barnes and Noble, or are you at a smaller private bookstore? How do you feel after your book is written? This is where you enjoy the process. This is where you thoroughly enjoy the process. You can create what you want it to be. Will you have dinner for folks that are coming to sign your book at your book signing? Just get really detailed about exactly what it is you want to see at the end of the book once it's done, like a day that you celebrate, like a book signing. Or if you don't want a book signing, think of what it is you want that will fuel your soul. And then you're going to connect your feelings with that day of your book signing and what colors you have decorated and who's there and how do you feel. This is where you connect your feelings, and this is what you'll think about whenever you go to bed. Whatever you think about before you go to bed is what is going to continue to go on. Okay? Now, step number 3 is you're just going to plan your strategy. You said, okay, well, I'm going to write in my book 3 times a week. Then you plan your strategy and you stick to it. Make a decision on what time you're going to write in your book, how long you're going to write in your book, and how long is the process going to take. You want to write 1 page a day and write it in a year, or do you want to write 3 pages a day and write it in 4 months? You know, plan your strategy as how you plan to get the book written. If you have to incorporate studying on how to get it self-published, incorporate that as well. So whatever you have to do, write it down, make it plain, and incorporate it in your life. And finally, step 4 is execute. At this phase, this is just executing. Stick to your plan of writing your book, writing in your book once a day or once every 3 days. Okay? And so whenever anything that comes up that separates you from step 1, 2, 3, or 4, you figure out how you can move that out of your way. Because right now, you're creating a new life. And so if there's something, distraction, if there's a distraction that comes up, even if it's a good distraction, thank you, Miss Blue, even if it's a good distraction, you're going to have to figure out how to move it out the way if it's coming into you building a new life for yourself. And that's it, guys. That's how you build a new life once you have closed out all the old cycles with the karmic folks. You can't play on the fence with karmic people. You have to release them out of your life because their purpose is to kill, steal, and destroy. But, you know, we've come so that we might have life and have life more abundantly. And once we close out those karmic cycles, it opens the way to create a more abundant, happy, loving environment for yourself. All right, guys, I know this was pretty quick, but I wanted to make sure I got back on and share with you how to build a new life after closing out cycles. As I always say, I wish you well. I wish you much happiness, much love, much peace, and much prosperity. Until the next time, namaste.